nice to meet you, Martin. I'm going to begin by asking what initially attracted you to Age of Kill?
Jonathan Softhcott is a friend of mine, gave me the script about 18 months ago. And then a few months after that, he came to me and said, we've got Phil Davis, we've got Patrick Bergin. And I thought, how can you not do it? I love working with opposite good actors, and any actor does. So it was something that kind of jumped off the page for me, really. It was a no-brainer.
I mean, I've been lucky enough to actually spend a fair bit of time with Jonathan before and sort of set visits and stuff, and he's got such an enthusiasm and passion for film. It must be quite hard to turn him down as well.
He's got such an enthusiasm for independent film, and he's one of the only people out there that is literally making independent films. I mean, they're low budget at the moment, but hopefully if he sticks around a bit longer and carries on his career path, then he'll start making a few bigger budgets. So let's keep our fingers crossed for him.
And I was wondering, so, in regards to the character of Sam, he's quite an elusive presence with a real kind of backstory. Do you quite enjoy taking on characters where it's not all laid out and written on the page for you, but you've actually got to almost create your own sort of life story for them?
Oh, absolutely. You have to bring yourself into any character that you play. A couple of people have sat in your seat today and said, it must be fun playing this guy. How do you get into the character? Do you go to if you're playing someone who's ex-Special Forces, do you go to Special Forces? Do you go to the Army and train, and see what they do? You don't. What you do is you take your own baggage, your life baggage, the emotion that comes with your life experiences, and you take that into the character. And that's usually, I think, what affects an audience far more.
Because in terms of sort of connecting to the character on a very human level, he's faced with a situation where he's almost got to protect someone he loves at the expense of others. Were you able to kind of try and put yourself in his shoes and try to think, what would I do in this situation?
You have to, absolutely. It's a big struggle in this film. It was a conversation that we had several times. Was somebody wants to put a bomb in the middle of London and kill several hundred people. Or do you save your daughter? And it was a big question that we kept asking. What's he doing it for? Is he doing this to save his daughter, or wouldn't he save the few hundred people? And I several times fell on the side of my daughter. In my head, I'm saving my daughter. If he saves the few hundred people along the way, great. But I'm saving my daughter.
And as in regards to films of this ilk, we've seen inclination of late to sort of have quite experienced actors take on kind of action roles. Obviously, Liam Neeson's doing quite a few at the moment, and I think you've had
I like the way you put that, experienced, not old.
Definitely experienced. Liam Neeson obviously has done a few. Kevin Costner, and obviously the whole Expendables franchise. Sure. Is it quite encouraging to know that there are roles out there, and they're not just going to the 20-year-olds? They're actually going because if anything, characters like this are kind of more well versed and a bit more interesting with a bit more of a life story.
Absolutely, I think you've hit the nail on the head, and it's exactly what I was going to say. It means that these characters can bring more life experience with them, more baggage, more emotional baggage that comes out of the screen and into the audience. So it takes the audience on that journey with them. So I think you're absolutely spot on.
And it must be such great fun to play a role like this, because when we were all kind of growing up and we all kind of want to be an actor or whatever, we all run around with like fake guns and it must be great. Does it kind of tap into that inherent kind of child in all of us that always wanted to do this?
It does a little bit, but I have to say, if you give me a choice, do you want to run around with a gun and shoot a film, or do you want to sit down and do a great dramatic two-person scene? I'd take the two-person scene because that's where my heart is, because that's what we all live for. Action on screen goes past very quickly and is really exciting. But when you shoot it, it's kind of slow and laborious, and you've got to get the angles and everything right. So it's kind of like a toss-up between the two.
Yeah. And you've got quite a lot in the pipeline. I was wondering if this was a kind of conscious decision for you, just think, right, I'm going to start making more movies at the moment, or if it was just a matter of getting more offers in and just going where the wind
No, at the moment I want to make more movies. I'm not. I think I've passed that bit in my life where I say I'm doing this because of a career move. Because if I do this, it'll lead on to this, and then that'll lead on to this. I'm past that little bit, over that hill. So at the moment I'm picking up stuff that I will enjoy, and that I think has got some legs, and other people will enjoy.
Is there one project in particular that you've recently worked on that isn't kind of ready yet, that you're really excited about, that you're kind of quite
Not
happy
that's
about
coming
showing?
out, because I've spent the last 2 years in the Spandau Ballet camp. So we're still on the same tour that we were on last year. So, and we don't finish until October. But when October comes, and then whether the band goes in to make a new album or whether I shoot a new film, I will have to wait and see. But that's the nicest thing about being an actor or in my position, is that you never quite know what's coming through your door.
Yeah. Because I was just wondering as well, I mean, there's the Krays brothers movie Legend, of course, coming out with Tom Hardy in lead. I'm just wondering if you're quite looking forward to seeing that and a kind of different interpretation of this story and this set of events.
I am looking forward to seeing it. I mean, I can't see that it's going to be such a different interpretation of it, because the fact is, for a long time we tried to make a sequel to the Krays, but when you break the Krays story down, there were only really 2 murders that you can talk about, and because the rest are hearsay. So there isn't that much, unless you try and make a story about how they were captured by the police. There's only that. I'm looking forward to a new movie because I'm a fan of gangster movies. I'm a fan of Martin Scorsese movies and Goodfellas, the same as most blokes are. It's such a long time ago now, the film that we made, that I can remove myself from it now. And it feels like a different person made that. And I will enjoy the Tom Hardy film. I'm not a big fan, if you ask me, honest, of the same actor playing 2 roles in any film, whether it's comedy or drama or whatever, because I'm always looking for the join. But I'm looking forward to it.
And just finally, very quickly, of course, that's one of your biggest ever roles. I was wondering, would you say when you're walking down the street, what are you most recognised for? Would you say it's the Krays or the Eastenders or Spandau Ballet? Is there one in particular that stands out?
No, there's not. It all depends how old the person is that recognises me. Young kids, I think, I don't know, people of 35 or stuff remember me from Eastenders, and then before that the Krays, and at the moment most people recognise me from Spandau.
Yeah. Well, we don't say old, we say experienced.
Experienced. I love that.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Nice,
Real
man.
pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey, you